Matt Lenihan Boxing Social in association with Empire Fight Store, and our kings were here, Vergil Ortiz. Vergil, last time I saw you was Saudi Arabia. Your hand was hurt, but you come off a terrific victory in a great fight against Israel Madrimov. How's life been since you back training? The hand okay?
Yeah, life has been great. I had surgery on the 1st of April. Just taking it easy right now. I'm not hitting anything. I'm still running. I'm still staying in some kind of shape, We've heard a few good things that I can't speak on, but these fights are going to be the boxing community is going to be very happy.
You've always been one who's called for the big fights. You've had a lot of fights. I think people forget. And there's a time where you had fights fall through, and you're finally now at that point where you're coming off a great victory, and that door's open now for all these mega fights. How exciting is that for you at this point in your career, where you can start making these statement fights that people can look back on in history?
Yeah, it's first of all, it makes me feel great that these fights are happening. Sometimes they're hard to make. There was a lot of fights that I wanted back then that just weren't happening, and now it just feels like we have any option now, and that we can do what we've been wanting to do this whole time, which is fight the best. And I've mentioned it before. I want to be in those kind of fights, like the HBO fights, the classics that people watch. Mickey Ward and Gotti, and so just stuff like that. People that are gonna watch 100 years later be like, damn.
It's hard for me to ask you this because I know you've said, look, I can't really say a lot, but there's so many fighters that you're linked with. Is there any sort of one or two that particularly really interest you, where you go, you know what, that fight has to happen, it's great for the fans, it's good for me, it's great for my legacy? Is there any particular fighters out there?
I'm going to be honest, I don't even have a single target at this point, and it's a very boring answer, but I just want to fight everyone. That's just kind of how it is,
When you see the weekend, we see Conor Benn and Chris Eubank selling out Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Obviously, Conor Benn's moved up in weight, but there's talks he could come down a little bit. Would that be a kind of fight that interests you? He's got a large audience as well. Yourself, obviously, your notoriety and the things you've done in boxing, that could be a firefight.
That'd be a good fight as well. I think he's a good fight. He's an entertaining fighter for sure. I didn't get to see the fight this past week, and I was asleep. So I was asleep, man. It's just, look, with this, I get sleepy. I'm healing. My body's healing, so I fall asleep sometimes. It's weird. But I missed it, and I'm still gonna have to catch it whenever they post it. That's a fight that we can entertain sometime in the future as well.
How important is it for you to become unified, undisputed, and do all the sort of traditional steps in boxing? Is that an important thing for you to do?
How important it is?
Yeah, is it? Because there's obviously a balance in boxing of, look, this fight makes financial sense, but this doesn't necessarily have a belt. Other fighters like, no, but I want that to be in the books. I want my name to be in the books. How important is that for you?
It's important. The belts matter. That's really all it is. I think it is very important. I want my name to be solidified in boxing history, and I don't. Some people look at the money aspect of it, but the fact is they look if you had belts or not, and I want belts.
I've got to ask you, it's the last one. This is a historic fight week in Times Square. There's fights in the middle of New York City. Just the main three fights, just give me your sort of predictions. Top to one: Ryan Garcia, Rolly Romero, Devin Haney and Ramirez, and obviously we've got Teofimo and Barbosa, which is a great fight. How do you see them fights going, sort of fight by fight?
Yeah, so Ryan and Rolly, that's gonna, in my opinion, that's probably gonna be the most entertaining fight, just because off of their history, off of how hard they hit. It's going to be competitive for sure because, like I said, the history, and the aspect of it, of the press conferences, it's hilarious. I love watching that stuff. I'm not going to lie. It's hilarious. You got Devin and Ramirez. Devin is a really good boxer. I love his jab. And you got Ramirez. He's a relentless fighter. He has power. And he's going to keep coming. He's going to want to make the fight happen. So that's something that's another fight that I'm looking forward to watching. Especially Ramirez is my favorite fighter. Just what in and out of the ring. He's my favorite fighter. And Teofimo and Barbosa. That's another great fight right there. Teofimo is one of the people in my generation, like we all kind of grew up watching each other. That I like. He's one of my favorites to watch. And Arnold Barbosa, he has this boxing ability that he has really good ring IQ, and I like watching him fight as well, man.
Well, look, it's been a pleasure catching up. We wish you all the best. Looking forward to your news and hopefully some big news for you. And we'll catch up soon, Vergil. I appreciate it.
Nice seeing you, man.